going to Australia. I'm very excited. I get to go live in all of these different places, and I just absolutely love that because it means that we can reach more people. We can go into Facebook. So if you're tuning in from Facebook, hello, good day. Melanie says it way better. This is Sabrina with Spoiled Agent, and I'm thrilled to be here with my colleague, Melanie Schinkel. She's the Aussie Specialist Program Manager with the Americas with Tourism Australia. How are you today, Melanie?
I am great, Sabrina, and g'day to everyone out there on LinkedIn and Facebook and wherever you're joining us today.
Yay. See, I told you she says it way better than I do. My goodness. I could practice my whole life. I'd never say it like that. But you are absolutely as authentic as the image behind you, which I had to ask you when we started, who is that?
Yeah, so this is my little friend. I haven't given him a name. He's just a kookaburra. So kookaburras are from the kingfisher family, and they're a large bird, and they crack each other up. They actually go into laughing fits, and you will hear them in the Australian bush laughing at each other, and that's their call. They just sound like they're laughing, and you'll often hear that sound in the background of horror movies as well, like
Really?
in the soundtracks, because they're it's quite a creepy noise if you use the right sound techniques. But they're really fun birds and they're just beautiful. So if you get a chance to see them when you're in Australia, definitely take advantage of that.
Oh, that's fantastic. And I know that today, somewhere in the mix, I'm not going to spoil it, but there might be a discussion about a fam trip, right?
hmm Yes, yeah, we'll definitely have a chat about some fam trips we've got coming up in October. So yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, then I don't want to take too much time. I'll just do my super boring, nothing like Australia's amazing news and information. I'll just tell you about the little housekeeping notes. So remember, this is being recorded. So if you have to run, that's okay. You'll find us on the Tourism Australia page, of course, and within Spoiled Agent, and of course on our YouTube channel. And if you have a question, pretty please ask that question in the Q&A box. We can all test our reactions here, and I'm going to send lots of love for when you send questions in the Q&A box. Please help us out. Don't put them in the chat because they get buried. The chat is for all the fun, greetings. And as Neil says, I'm not going to say it again. Oh, good day, friends from Cincinnati. Okay, I tried. Still not as good as
I love
Melanie, of
it. I
course,
love
never.
hearing all the different accents say it. It's the best.
Right. Well, yeah, everyone tries, I'm sure. But so that those are my housekeeping notes, and I know there is a prize. Do you want to talk about that, Melanie?
Yeah, so stick around for the entire webinar today. We do have a $250 Amazon gift card to give away, which should be great for you to spend on some fun activities during the summer. So, yeah, we'll
Yes.
pick out a lucky winner for that as well.
Wonderful. And we'll get that winner out to you. Today is Wednesday. We'll get that winner out early next week. So that will go out as usual by email. So again, all you need to do is stay on until the Q&A session. Excuse me, until the Q&A session starts. If you're on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, just make sure to throw your email in there so we can enter you to win. And that's it. I'll let you get started. Thank you, Melanie.
Perfect. Well, thanks for the introduction there, Sabrina, and thanks to everyone today for attending the training session. I'm really delighted to share some tips on Australia, explain why you need to become an Aussie specialist if you're not already, and how you can become eligible to apply for our fall FAM trip. And of course, what Tourism Australia resources are available to assist you in selling Australia to your clients. So yeah, as Sabrina said, be sure to stick around up until the Q&A for your chance to win a $250 Amazon gift card. And yeah, we'll notify the winner sometime next week. But yeah, let's get stuck into it. But before we launch into it, I would like to acknowledge the traditional Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander owners of the land, sea, and waters of the Australian continent and recognise their custodianship of culture and country for over 60,000 years. A long time, right? I also acknowledge the numerous Native American tribes and First Nations people from wherever you are all joining us from today. For those of you that don't know me yet, I'm Mel Schinkel. So I'm the Aussie Specialist Program Manager for Tourism Australia. I oversee and facilitate Australia training for American and Canadian advisors. I'm actually based in Las Vegas, but you're welcome to reach out to me anytime you have got questions about your Aussie specialist training or just Australia in general. If I don't know the answer, I definitely have some mates who do, so I can reach out to them on your behalf. So, why Australia? Well, Australia is one of the most desirable travel destinations on earth. Whether your clients are chasing endless sunshine, beautiful beaches, dramatic deserts, unique wildlife, or ancient cultures, Australia is a fantastic place for anyone to explore. Australia is inviting the world to come and say g'day with the help of our brand new ambassador. Her name is Ruby. There she is. Oh, g'day, Ruby. She's adorable. Tourism Australia did really release a really cool 9-minute animated short film. It's called G'day, and it stars Ruby the kangaroo and her American mate Louie the unicorn. So you can check that out on the Australia YouTube channel. But let's take a sneak peek at the trailer.
The Great Barrier Reef. Huh?
Here we are.
G'day.
Where am I?
Australia. And you look like you need a vacation.
Show us what you got. Remarkable.
Yep, it's amazing.
I love it. What is it?
A wombat. Come on. Jump! Down under, g'day's the start of every good adventure. So what are you waiting for? Come and say g'day.
That's it, Roseburn. What are you waiting for? Come and say g'day. So, why should you sell Australia? Well, let's have a look. We've got some cross-selling opportunities. So, an Australian holiday can include numerous experiences that are best pre-booked by a travel advisor just like you. So, encourage your clients to book these as early as possible. This saves them money and stress and means more commission for you. Upselling opportunities. So, there are so many opportunities for tourists in Australia to upgrade their experiences, be it by selecting a more comfortable seat on the plane or choosing a higher grade of accommodation. So these upgrades are often surprisingly affordable, which again means more commission for you. And repeat travelers. So many people travel around Australia more than once, exploring a different part of the country each time. And some reasons to come and say good day. Well, there's nothing like Australia to make you feel welcome. It is home to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. There are a breadth of unique landscapes to explore and beautiful, thriving cities and communities, full of friendly Aussies, of course. Now, all Americans do need to obtain a visitor visa before arriving in Australia. All your clients need to do is fill in the Australian ETA before departure via the mobile app, which is only available on the Apple and Google Play stores. Now, I must stress, it is not available via GDS, only those mobile apps, okay? The Australian ETA costs around 20 Australian dollars and is valid for 12 months with a maximum 3-month stay in Australia. If filled in correctly, approval is automatic and your client will receive a confirmation email. Australia is big. In fact, I like to demonstrate just how big it is by comparing it to the United States. Australia is almost the same size as the USA, but with a population of around, 26.5 million versus your 340 plus million here in the US. So not overpopulated and lots of wide open spaces for your clients to explore. Unlike the USA with its many states and cities, Australia is a bit more simple. It only has 6 states and 2 territories, each with its own capital city. And getting to Australia. So the approximate direct flying time from Los Angeles and San Francisco is around 15 hours. And with a number of direct flights from the USA and Canada to Australia, the land of koalas and kangaroos has never been closer. Travelers can choose from a wide range of airlines that fly non-stop from the USA and Canada, including Qantas, Delta Airlines, United, American, and Air Canada. Carriers that fly via their hubs to Australia include Hawaiian Airlines, Fiji Airways, Air New Zealand, and of course, some of the Middle Eastern airlines. So direct services typically depart from the west coast of the USA and Canada, as well as Texas. So we have some options out of Dallas, Fort Worth, and Houston to the East Coast capital cities of Sydney, Brisbane, and Melbourne, with easy connections to other cities around Australia from there. So to see more of Australia, it's likely your clients will fly domestically within the continent. We're a pretty big place. The distance between Sydney and Perth is similar to the distance between New York and Los Angeles, so around that 5-hour flying time. It is worth bearing that in mind when recommending an itinerary to your clients. And Australia is an excellent destination for road trip enthusiasts with an extensive network of well-maintained roads. There are also many unsealed or dirt roads to beautiful rural destinations for more adventurous travellers. Many iconic driving routes allow visitors to experience Australia up close while travelling at their own pace. Australia is a very large country and distances can be greater than first imagined. So careful planning of a self-drive holiday is strongly recommended to ensure your clients have enough time to enjoy everything there is on offer along the way. And getting around on coach. So we do have a reliable network of coach routes that link towns and major cities throughout Australia. A variety of coach passes are available to visitors, making coach travel an inexpensive option. We have escorted coach tours. They are very popular to explore Australia, and there are coach tours to suit all types of travellers, from energetic young backpackers to more relaxed retirees. Everything is organised on an escorted tour, so the accommodation, the meals are often included, making escorted tours a really cost-effective travel option. Escorted coach tours are particularly appealing for travel in remote parts of the country, such as the Kimberley region or Alice Springs, where some travellers may not feel confident navigating themselves. And let's not forget our epic rail journeys. So we have this wonderful journey called the GAN, and it travels through the centre of Australia from Adelaide to Darwin or vice versa via Alice Springs. So the 2-night journey takes visitors through rural farmland, the red earth of the outback, and the greenery of the top end. Another popular rail journey is the Indian Pacific, which takes visitors across Australia between the Indian Ocean in the west and the Pacific Ocean in the east via Adelaide. It's a 3-night journey from Perth to Sydney or vice versa. So if you would love more information on the rail journeys, please visit the journeybeyondrail.com.au website. And of course, I can hook you up with a contact if you want to get more information from the BDM. Like the USA, Australia is a big place with such a broad range of climates that you can almost do anything there at any time of the year. Australia's temperature zone weather patterns fall across 4 seasons in most of the country. Unlike other continents, Australia doesn't experience extreme seasonal variations. However, summer gets very hot in the north and across the outback, similar to what I'm experiencing right now in Las Vegas. And in winter, some mountainous areas receive snow. The tropical zone of Australia has 2 seasons, so the wet and the dry season. The Tropic of Capricorn roughly traverses the top third of the Australian continent. So you could consider most of the region as the tropics. During the tropical north's wet season, sometimes referred to as the green season or tropical summer, you could expect very hot and humid weather with the potential for tropical storms. So the big thing to remember with our weather really is that we are the opposite to the United States. So do keep that in mind. So right now, Australia is in the middle of its winter. Now, Australia is consistently voted as one of the most desired travel destinations on Earth. Most people, everyone I speak to, They want to visit, but there's often a reason they're holding back and not turning that dream into a reality. Now, I'm sure some of you have sent clients to Australia, while other clients have come up with excuse after excuse as to why not to visit. So let's discuss some of the ways that you could overcome these barriers and turn that desire to visit into an actual experience that they will never forget. I'm worried about the long flight. Australia is closer than many people assume. Despite popular belief, they're not flying to the moon, okay? A flight to the east coast of Australia is comparable with flights from Los Angeles to Rome. We've got lots of people that like to go to Italy, right? Or New York to Dubai. As many flights depart at night, travelers can board their plane, have dinner, settle in with a couple of movies before getting some shut eye. Before they know it, it's time for breakfast and arrival into Australia. Flights that depart at night will arrive 2 days later, early in the morning. But don't be fooled by that date change. It doesn't take 2 days to fly to Australia. During the night, the aircraft crosses the international date line, therefore skipping a day. But your clients will get that day back, arriving a day earlier, returning to the United States. So they'll leave on a Monday, perhaps, and then arrive back on Monday. It's bizarre. So many airlines utilize their larger, more modern aircraft on their Australian routes as well. So traveling down under is more comfortable than it's ever been before. Not enough vacation time. I understand this one. We all need more vacation time. So some travelers assume you need to have a large amount of vacation time to even consider a trip to Australia. But you can experience Australia in a short amount of time. Ideally, a 10 to 14-day vacation is a good amount of time to allow visitors to experience 2 to 3 destinations at a leisurely pace. The next time they come down under, they can visit a few more locations. Educate your clients. It's not practical to see the whole country in one trip. Australia is a multi-visit destination. So your Australia on-site, DMC or wholesaler will have some ideas on crafting that perfect Australian itinerary, no matter the duration, whether it be a week, 10 days, 2 months, or a month. Wouldn't we all love to spend a month in Australia? That would be amazing. A trip to Australia will cost a lot. Now, not the case. A trip to Australia need not cost a fortune at all. Now, of course, costs can vary depending on your client's travel preferences and budget, but it's worth remembering that many of the best experiences in Australia are absolutely free. From seeing a kangaroo or a koala in the wild for the first time to enjoying the beautiful Aussie beaches. Now, the quality of accommodation and experiences is also very high in Australia, ensuring excellent value for money. And don't forget about the favorable exchange rate. Now, of course, exchange rates fluctuate, but currently $1 buys roughly 1.5 Aussie dollars. So Australia is an affordable destination relative to other Western countries. Now I thought we would take a look at a popular itinerary that's perfect for a minimum 10 to 14-day visit to Australia. Most first-time visitors to Australia want to see all the icons. We refer to this as the Sydney Rock and Reef itinerary, and it covers Sydney in New South Wales, so the Opera House, the Harbour Bridge, Bondi Beach in the Blue Mountains, Uluru in the Outback in the Northern Territory, plus the Great Barrier Reef and Daintree Rainforest in Queensland. So you could think of this as Australia's Golden Triangle. These are all the things people are wanting to see when they come down under. This itinerary is a little more off the beaten path and is perfect for a return visit to Australia. The focus here is on wildlife, adventure, food, and wine. And this itinerary covers the cities of Melbourne in Victoria, Adelaide and Kangaroo Island in South Australia, and the beautiful island state of Tasmania, where you can see some of those little mischievous Tasmanian devils. So how can you find the best experiences Australia has to offer? Well, we have our signature experiences of Australia. This is a carefully curated selection of Australia's most outstanding experiences that represent the very essence of the country, including luxury lodges, great walks, winery experiences, and wildlife journeys, just to name a few. These are fully commissionable tourism experiences and can be booked directly via your preferred wholesaler, DMC, or seller. All these experiences are 100% endorsed by Tourism Australia, so you can rest assured your clients are getting the very best of what Australia has to offer. But I've been talking for a while, so let's watch a video that captures what Signature Experiences of Australia is all about. Oh my gosh, did we all just go on a mini holiday to Australia then? It's so beautiful. Oh, I get teary just seeing some of those images because I get homesick. But yes, absolutely beautiful collective. So, how can you learn even more about Australia? Well, I'm seeing in the chat here that some of you are already Aussie specialists, which is fantastic. And that's how to do it. You join our multi-award winning Aussie specialist program. And this is designed specifically to boost travel advisor confidence in selling Australia to their clients. The Aussie Specialist Program will drastically improve your Australian knowledge. Advisors sell 35% higher value bookings to Australia after qualifying as an Aussie Specialist. Now, repeat visitation to Australia is high. In fact, around 62% of leisure travellers return to Australia within 5 years of their first visit. So why not increase your commission and those repeat travel bookings? All you need to do is register on aussiespecialist.com and complete the 90-minute Introduction to Australia curriculum to get started. Then you'll have access to more specialist training courses. So if you want to specialize in luxury or wildlife or cruising, family travel, we've got more courses than you can poke a stick at. So definitely get in there and check it out. There's also sample itineraries and free marketing collateral. So these are great to send to your clients to get an idea of what it is they want to see while they're in Australia, and then you can adjust the itineraries from there. And then, of course, we have our new Travel Trade Hub where you can find imagery and video assets to share on your social media channels and much, much more there. Also, the Signature Experiences of Australia portal, so you can go through and have a look at all the experiences that are part of that collective. And of course, don't forget the Australia YouTube channel. We have so many great videos like the ones I've shared today that you can share with your clients on your social channels too. Right, so exciting news. Thanks to the incredible support from our state and territory partners, plus our amazing airline friends, we're thrilled to be sending one US Famil group to Australia this fall, and it will be from the 26th of September to the 6th of October. So to be eligible, you'll need to be a qualified Aussie specialist, have never visited Australia before, this is for newbies. This is for people who haven't had a chance to get down under and completed the New South Wales Australian Capital Territory and South Australia training modules. So do make sure you register on aussiespecialist.com today so you receive an email later this week with all of the finer details on how to apply and what you need to do. And finally, just to make sure you subscribe to receive marketing materials when you sign up so that you do receive that invitation to apply later this week and throughout July. So there'll be a few emails that go out. So if you missed the one this week, there will be some other ones throughout July. But our applications will close on July 31st. So you'll just have to make sure that you get in and do your training and you submit that application form before July 31st. And there is a whole team to support your learning journey. So do please feel free to reach out to us via our group inbox at hotline@tourism.australia.com if we can assist with any questions about Australia or the Aussie Specialist Program. So you'll see we have Karen over on the East Coast, Liam is in Los Angeles, along with Christine, and I am in Vegas. But oh my gosh, I can't believe we whizzed through that so quickly. I need to slow down talking next time. But yeah, let's take a look at some of the Q&A. How does that sound, Sabrina?
That sounds fantastic, but I really want to go in that helicopter right now.
I know, it's amazing, right? So they're
Oh
flying
my
over
goodness.
Hart Reef and the Great Barrier Reef. So that's up in Queensland. Beautiful part of the
Wow.
world in the Whitsundays. A lot of people get married there. You can actually take one of the luxury lodges, Qualia. You can take a private helicopter flight out to Hart Reef. And yeah, it's stunning. I
I
haven't
was going to
been
say it looks
there
like a
yet.
heart, and it's
Yeah,
called Heart
it
Reef.
is
So,
legit called Hart Reef.
oh wow,
So
I love that. Okay.
we're
So
very
first
simple
off,
Australians.
there you go. And thank you. What a fabulous presentation. So, agents, if you have to run, we understand. We know you're
Yeah.
going to be calling your clients about Australia and also getting on that training, and you need the time to do that. But if you'd like to stick around, there are some fabulous questions here from your spoiled agent community members.
Oh
So I'll
yeah.
read some of those out and look if there
Perfect.
are any on our social channels. So first, Lona said looking for a BDM to connect with. So maybe we could just go back to that slide if you don't
Oh yeah.
mind, because
Yeah,
that's
let's go
handy and you
back
can
there.
see who's who and
Because you've
all
got
the.
all of our individual emails there as well. So the businesses we've currently in the process of hiring a new business development manager for the East Coast. So right now, Liam is the BDM, but you can reach out to me as well if it's anything related to training or if you just have Australia questions as well.
Okay, perfect. Next question. If you're doing a cruise, do you still need a visa?
Yeah, you do. Fortunately, it's a very easy process. And the app has been updated quite a few times. There were a few bugs in the beginning, but it's working really well now. So yeah, and the thing with the app is that if you have clients that don't have a smartphone, the visa is not attached to the device itself. So if they have a family member like a son or a daughter that can help them out, they can apply for the visa on a family or friend's device. And then they will get that confirmation email in their inbox, which they don't need to show to anyone. It's just for their own peace of mind that the visa's been approved. But that ETA visa is actually digitally attached to the passport. So they won't need to show anything when they go through immigration in Australia.
So just have someone help them in advance. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And do any airlines fly out of Newark or JFK?
Yeah, so at the moment, we don't have any direct flights to Australia out of New York, but we do have flights with Qantas and Air New Zealand. So they go via Auckland out of, I believe, out of JFK. So
Okay.
there is some talk that Qantas are developing a direct flight from New York to Sydney, but we're not sure when that's going to come online yet. I think that's called Project Sunrise. So if you're interested in finding out more about that, you could check out the Qantas website. But yeah, for the moment, it's Air New Zealand and Qantas via Auckland, which Going through Auckland is great. They've got a wonderful lounge. They also, the immigration process is very quick. So if you have clients that are interested, if they have enough time and they want to see a bit of the North Island before getting to Australia, then that could be a good option as well.
Yes. Someone else asked, would you please reshare the web page for rail travel?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So we actually did a really great webinar with Journey Beyond. Well, I'm probably going to have to go back quite a few slides, so I don't want to give anyone whiplash. Bear with me. Because it was right at the beginning, wasn't it?
That's
Oh, you're getting
okay.
a little quick overview.
That's right.
Journey Beyond. There it is. Well, no, I went too far. There we go. Yeah, so we actually did a webinar that's in our platform that you can watch the recording with Journey Beyond just on the 1st of July. So really up to date information. Josh Basia is the BDM manager for Americas. So if you do need a hookup, I can definitely get you in touch with him. But they're amazing journeys. They're on a lot of Australians' bucket lists to do. So you do compete with the domestic market. So it is a good idea to try and book as far ahead in possible. And that Journey Beyond Rail website has all the live availability of what's available.
Okay. And another question is asking, how do they become an Aussie specialist? And so I'm
Yeah,
just going to put that, if you want to speak to that, I'm throwing the link in there as well.
yeah, absolutely. So, yep, you just go onto aussiespecialist.com and there'll be some registration questions to set up your account. And then the platform will take you to the Introduction to Australia curriculum. And that's the course you need to do to become an Aussie specialist. It'll take you about an hour and a half to do that. I say chip away at it, 10 minutes here or there. It will always save where you're up to. I don't know what everyone else is like, but I get distracted after about 15 minutes. So
Yeah.
getting me to sit still for an hour and a half is almost impossible.
Yeah.
But once you've done that, you will get a certificate saying you're an Aussie specialist. You'll get a little badge that you can actually put on your business cards or on your email signatures. And then the whole platform opens up. So then you can go and do more specialty courses if you want to specialize in New South Wales or Queensland, or as I was saying, luxury or wildlife or cruising. All of those courses open up for you there. So, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. I love that. And it's really just so user friendly. Someone had said they're not so comfortable booking their clients, but they would to Australia, but they would love to. So I'm going to leave that actually in the chat with you, Melanie, and then maybe, that's a conversation to be had a little further. But I think taking this amazing training and hearing from everybody, just look at the chat box, everyone talking
Yeah.
about their experiences. It's wonderful. So I think that you have all the tools to help get the agents, feeling confident, right?
Absolutely. And that's what the program's about. It's just about making Australia more digestible. It's not as scary as it seems. If you're booking travel to Europe or for your clients or even throughout North America, it's about the same size and there's just as much to see and do. So it's more about just getting that confidence. And that's where the
Hmm.
program comes in, just so that you understand where things are, what the things are that most people are wanting to see when they go down to Australia. And then we have ongoing webinars. So yeah, like I said, we did one last week with about the rail journeys. So we have about 2 webinars per month, roughly, to keep you updated. Sometimes we'll focus on a particular state and territory or some particular experiences. And then, of course, we're doing updated courses all the time as well. So yeah, the content's really up to date and is always being updated. And you've got us to reach out to if you've got questions. We always do our best to get back to you as soon as possible.
Of course. And I've got the sales team contacts. I'm going to put them in the chat box because somebody in the Q&A asked for that. And remember, you can always find that if you're ever on any of our sessions. Of course, we're going to post that for you as well on the page of the partner. So there it is in the chat. You've got Melanie's, Karen's, and then also the hotline email, just easy copy paste for you. Gail is asking, do you have particular wholesalers that you would recommend?
Yeah, so there's quite a few that we have partnerships with, but it will depend on if you're with consortia. But just a couple off the top of my head. Travel Answers Group, they specialize in Australia as well as a few other destinations. They're actually based in Vegas. A lot of you have probably met Jeff Adam. He's a guy from Adelaide, very passionate about Australia. There's also GoWay. They do a great job. Who else we've got? If you're looking more in the luxury space, that Abercrombie in Kent, Southern World, Southern Crossings, there's a whole bunch. So if you want to reach out to the hotline inbox with any details on who your consortia affiliation is, then we can recommend the best one that works with your consortia as well.
Oh, that's a great idea. How
Mm.
accessible, can we talk about accessibility? How accessible is Australia? Someone asks.
Yeah. It's interesting you bring that up. We just did a whole brand new course that's been launched in the platform all about accessible Australia. So if you have clients that have accessibility needs, that would be a great course to look at and do because it's got a lot of options for all the different states and territories. And there's definitely some ITOs that specialize in accessible travel throughout Australia too. I'm just trying, you know what? I don't have it off the top of my head, but do reach out to me on the hotline and I can send some links through on that. It just skips my brain what the name of them
Yeah,
is
oh,
at the
good.
moment. But
Well,
yeah,
and
it's particularly Queensland. They're doing a lot around accessibility. So yeah.
okay. And then we'll move over to destination weddings. Do you have a destination wedding certification for destination wedding experts?
No, but you can specialize in our luxury curriculum. So that would cover off the luxury lodges of Australia. That's a lot of those lodges are destinations onto themselves, and you can have weddings hosted there. There's a lot of experiences and meals and drinks included in the tariff. So there is a luxury expert curriculum, but we don't have anything specifically for destination weddings. But that's a good idea. I should pitch that to the team in Sydney for the course development team. And maybe we need a destination wedding module. That'd be great.
Yeah, it looks, and that near the heart reef
Yes.
looks like such a
Yes.
phenomenal, perfect place. Okay, and then
Yes.
still on the marriages, on in destination weddings, how are same-sex marriages accepted is the actual question.
Yeah, it's been legal in Australia for quite a while now.
Mm-hmm.
We have a very strong LGBTQ plus community. We have, the huge Sydney Mardi Gras every year. It's a big party. Everyone comes out to celebrate. So yes, we're very accepting and friendly in that space. There's actually, some Priscilla Queen of the Desert inspired tours that you can do through Broken
Cool.
Hill, and which is really fun. And I mean, there's so many great drag shows and things in the Sydney area and throughout the country. So yeah, definitely a destination where you don't need to worry about that.
Oh, lovely. And do you know when July 2026 travel options become available?
For July 2026 travel options for what in particular?
I guess, I don't know. Maybe we can ask the agent to elaborate.
Yeah. We're open all the time.
Yeah,
July,
I know
we'll
you're
be
not
open.
close, so maybe the airline um, seats, but you should be able to book now. That's a great question. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's a question for the airlines. I'm
For
not
the
too
airline, yeah.
sure.
So if you're not finding
Mm,
it with your preferred wholesaler, I would talk to your wholesaler BDM or the reservations
hmm
department. Okay,
hmm
would you recommend cruising or land itineraries for first timers?
Well, any way you can get them to Australia, I'm happy with because they're going to get hooked and they're going to want to come back. They're going to have that fear of missing out, especially if they do a cruise because they're not going to get on land as much as they need to when they're in Australia. So if they're going to do a cruise, that's great. I know cruising is huge for the North America market. We get a lot of people down to Australia via cruising. The only thing I would recommend is, putting in some pre and post nights so they do get the opportunity to get on land and see the wildlife, spend a little bit more time in Australia. And we do have a cruise training course as well. So that talks about all the different ports of Australia, all the cool things you could do pre and post a cruise. So definitely check that one out once you've finished your qualification. That will be available to you.
Okay. Next question is on the visa. The visa is for 3 months in a 12-month period, or can you visit more than once with another max of 3 months within the 12 months?
So yeah, it's
Hmm.
a multiple entry, so you can use that visa again as long as it's still valid within that 12-month period, but a maximum 3 month stay each time. You can't stay any longer than 3 months in one visit.
And you know what's nice is right on the Spoiled Agent site, there's a visitor visa guide that Tourism
Yeah,
Australia has created, and it's probably on the Travel Trade Hub. That's a tongue
yes.
twister. So it's probably there as well. So that's a great place to look at that resource, either place.
Yeah, let me just pop back to that page for
Yeah, and
you.
I'll throw it in the chat as well. Lots of comments here in the questions saying thank you, thank you, thank you for this
Of course.
information. So I didn't want to go without sharing that. And then a few more questions. Thanks for busting some of the myths that I've heard
Yeah.
and personally thought. Australia's on my bucket list. I have a lot of clients talk about combining Australia and New Zealand while they travel in from the East Coast to make the most of their long journey. In this
Mhm.
case, how many days would you recommend for that trip?
Yeah, I would still say a minimum of 10 days in Australia if you're going to add New Zealand into the mix. New Zealand is such a beautiful country, but it's tiny in comparison to Australia. So it doesn't need as much time. But in saying that, there's a lot to see and do in that small space. So you still want to do it justice. So I would recommend a minimum 10 days in Australia. If you can do 14 days, that's even better. 10 days, I'd recommend maybe focusing on two destinations that you really want to see. So perhaps you would do Sydney, New South Wales, and then maybe go up and do the Great Barrier Reef and Daintree Forest in Cairns. Just depends on what your clients really want to see. And then New Zealand, I would go and talk to my friends at Tourism New Zealand about how long they recommend you spend in New Zealand. But I mean, you could spend easily another 10 days just in New Zealand as well. So, or you could do 2 weeks easily that quickly,
Yeah.
So I would definitely recommend if you're going to add New Zealand into the mix, you need at least really 4 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks to add them in the mix.
Okay, there you go. Okay, and next up we have if the to Australia is completed, when will the other modules become available?
Yeah, so they're available straight away once you complete that course. You'll be able to dive into those other ones.
Okay. Oh, and someone is sharing. Thank you. I've seen that people fly from Newark to San Francisco. So SFO, I think that's San Francisco, yes.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
on to Australia. So you just connect through. Hey, I live in one of those airports that doesn't have any direct flights anywhere. So I know
yeah.
all about that. And that's just sometimes what you have to do to get to these amazing places, right?
I
It's
know.
part of the
And
journey.
that's it. It's part of the adventure. And
That's right.
you can go via like I said, we've got options out of Dallas and Houston if you've got people that really don't want to have to go via California, but a lot of options are out of San Francisco and LA. I also like the Honolulu option with Hawaiian Airlines. If you've got people that want to stop over and do a few days in Hawaii and then fly direct to Sydney from there, that's a great option. And of course, Fiji Airways as well. They've got some great options into Australia via Nandi. So you could get a few more destinations in that itinerary if you're really clever with it and your clients have the time. So
Okay. And some Consuela on Facebook. Hey, Consuela says, "Oh, good, because I'm doing a cruise in Australia in 2027. The
amazing.
cruise is probably going to be this just like taster of everything, and you're going to be like, wow, I want to go back." And
Yeah.
that's wonderful. Deanne says FJ has great fares.
Fiji
Okay.
Airways, yeah, they do. They've got really competitive rates. And I think we'd have to check on the Fiji Airways website, but I'm pretty sure the stopover is included within the fare if you take that option to stop over in
Nice.
Fiji for a night or two. Do you double check that? I'm not sure if that's off the top of my head 100% correct. But I always recommend, if you can, doing the Fiji stopover on the way back to the United States, just to sort of readjust back into the time zone, be a little bit
Hmm.
more, have a bit of a chill stop on the way.
Yes, that
Um,
sounds perfect.
and they
Ne-
actually fly direct into Canberra too, which is a new route. And that's our version of Washington, D.C. So it's a really great place to start your journey in Australia because you get to visit, you can go and visit Parliament House, the War Memorial, learn about Australia's history and culture before heading out to other areas of Australia, which will give you more context into some of those destinations as to how we formed as a nation. So that's a really great option with Fiji Airways to fly direct into Canberra.
Okay. And can the visa be obtained once in Australia, or this is a must do before arrival?
Definitely a must do before arrival.
Makes
Great
sense.
question. I'm so glad
Hmm.
you asked that. You do not want your clients applying for this at the airport because it's very stressful if it doesn't come through straight away. Normally, as long as it's filled in correctly, sometimes before you've even hit submit, the visa's sitting in your inbox. It's very, very quick. But if they happen to not fill their name in correctly or they do the dates in the wrong order, I mean, the app will prompt them. But when people are in a rush, they make mistakes.
That's
And
right.
if they make a mistake, the AI will detect there's an error and it will get sent off for human processing by an agent to have a look
Mm,
at. So then it could be delayed by a week or two. It just depends on how much backlog they have to look at. So, in saying that, I always recommend applying for that visa at least 2 weeks before departure, just to be safe. So, you know, you've got it sitting there, the confirmation's in your inbox. Um, and you could, because it's valid for that 12-month period, you could even apply for it before you book anything is booked in. You
yeah,
know, that way you
that's
know you've
right.
definitely the visa's approved, you're all good to rock and roll. Then you can
Hmm.
go ahead and book those flights and book the accommodation and everything. So it's really up to you as the agent what your process is and what your client's most comfortable with. But I'm a little risk adverse. I always prefer to have that visa first before I
Same,
book anything.
same,
Yeah.
yeah. Where is the FAM information located again? Someone
Yeah.
asks.
So we're actually, if as long as you're in our database, so if you sign up to the platform, you will receive an email with all of the information. So there's no landing page or anything with this information. They are smaller groups. It's a smaller group
Okay.
that is going. So it's more, yeah, you'll get an email. Either you'll get one either this week if you're in the system, or we'll send out a couple of more before July 31st as well.
And that's this when you say to register, that's the Aussie Specialist Program, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great.
So
So
on
I've put that link.
aussiespecialist.com.
Perfect. I put
Yeah,
that link once again for everybody in the chat so you have it handy. Go click, save it, favorites, or go ahead right now and make sure you sign up.
yeah.
And sorry, did you want to say something else?
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, just make sure that you sign up on the Aussie Specialist website and tick yes to receiving that marketing invitation. So make sure you select true because that will make sure that you're saying you want to receive our newsletter and information about fam trips and things like that. We won't send you too much. It's just we need to have that consent before we can
Of
send you
course.
anything.
Okay. And someone else, Margaret says, thank you. I've enjoyed the modules ready for the down under adventure. Just
Oh yeah.
the best feedback, as always, for you, Melanie, because you're just such a great presenter. And of course, Australia's such a dream to hear about. I could do this all day long.
I could talk
It's
about it all day as well. So
right. Well,
yeah,
it's
cut me off
wonderful.
anytime.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, we really appreciate you sharing your wisdom and experience and amazing contacts and resources. Really, there's someone said in the chat too, you've set the bar really high, in terms of, the support and training for agents. So thank you for that because that's what, is going to help them to have these clients so happy and repeating, returning, and just making such great memories for them. And of course, loving having the business coming in at the same time. That's the side part, right? All this love of travel is just such an amazing experience. So
Absolutely.
I want to say thank you and invite you if you have any final words before we close. Anyone who stayed on, of course, sorry, Melanie, one last reminder, we will let the winner know for next week because I often get that question later in an email. So just in case anyone was wondering, the 250 gift card on Amazon that'll be announced. The winner is picked randomly, and next week we will email out who the winner is. Melanie, do you have anything to share? Final words?
No, just thank you all so much for joining. And yeah, get in the Aussie Specialist program. You're going to learn so much, and we're here to support you. And yeah, that's our job. We just want to share the Australian story and our love for the destination. So yeah, reach out to us anytime.
Wonderful. Thank you. Have a beautiful rest of your day, everyone. And we hope to see you on another webinar soon. Bye for now.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Thank you.